When José Abreu is in a rut at the plate, he pulls up video of Orestes Kindelán. The White Sox first baseman came from Cuba in 2014 after playing 10 seasons in his home country, but he still looks homeward when he needs inspiration. Kindelan is the home run king in Cuba, and he boasts 2 Olympic gold medals to his name as well. And he was Abreu's childhood hero. Today's biggest stars were all once kids too, and they spend time watching and admiring the handiwork of the best players of their day. But even as they are in the midst of their own careers, they still take the time to learn from, or just appreciate their counterparts. In other words, looking up to MLB players and finding little things to imitate is something that still happens once players reach the big leagues. Abreu didn't have access to major league games as a kid in Cuba, so Kindelan became his reference as a hitter, and, according to Abreu, he remains that to this day. Even now when I feel that I am struggling, I just check videos of him, just to see the things that he was able to do at that time, Abreu told Sporting News through an interpreter. Now, Abreu has a premium seat for seeing the best hitters in the game in the United States. One of his favorites is Miguel Cabrera. The two have occupied the same division for several years, and as first baseman, there's often the opportunity to pick others' brains. We mostly talk about the position of our hands, just to keep the hands inside, Abreu said. Being able to control our hands, because for us, that's a key for our offense. As a kid growing up near Cincinnati, Kyle Schwarber did what a lot of fans in the 90s and early 2000s did, and used his best Ken Griffey Jr. impression as he learned to hit. "I've got pictures with the hat backwards, doing the little tilt," Schwarber told SN. But as the Cubs left fielder Votto High School and college, he spent a lot of his time paying close attention to another Reds hitter, Joey Votto. Schwarber said he used to study how Votto approached each at-bat and grew to understand some of the nuances of putting together a quality plate appearance. He would watch as Votto took what appeared to be an easy-to-hit fastball down the middle and then crush a slider on the next pitch for a home run. From that, Schwarber said he saw some of the importance of looking for the pitch he wanted. "That's what hitting should be," Schwarber said. "We go up there, and we want to get our pitch, and when we do get our pitch, we don't want to miss it." Votto's famed pickiness was something Schwarber wanted for himself, and the results are there so far. Even while he struggled to hit for a respectable average last season, Schwarber still drew free passes at a 12.1% rate, and that's up to 16% this year. On his team, Schwarber admires Kris Bryant, but acknowledges that he could never get away with using his stance. "A better fit," he said, "is Anthony Rizzo. Both being big, left-handed hitters, they have a similar approach at the plate," and Schwarber said he likes to talk to Rizzo to learn how he is being attacked by opposing pitchers. Helpful too are Rizzo's years of experience in the division. The first baseman has built a sizable mental database on the NL Central, and Schwarber said he likes to tap into that knowledge. Rizzo said that he also grew up watching Griffey hit. He might not have the pictures that Schwarber has, but he doesn't hide that he imitated the kid's dance as well. And of course, all the time, Rizzo said. He concurs with Schwarber's description of how they talk hitting, adding that he likes to pay close attention to how pitchers go after Schwarber because it's likely they will approach him the same way. Outside of his teammates, Rizzo said he savors the times when he gets to see fellow NL first baseman Paul Goldschmidt taking at bat because of the way he commands the batter's box and how many different ways he can produce. His presence. He's a threat. He works the at-bat. He can get on by taking his walks. He can steal a base. He can get on by hitting the ball in the gap. He can hit a home run, Rizzo said. It's a fun at-bat to watch. Goldschmidt grew up in Houston, so he was an admirer of Astros stars Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio and Lance Berkman. Goldschmidt said he loved the way the Astros of his youth played with get your uniform dirty grit, and his dad made it a point to call his son's attention to the way they went hard on every play. These days, Goldschmidt said the respect is mutual when it comes to Rizzo, and he also draws a lot from watching Bryant or division mate Buster Posey. Goldschmidt also said he's become an especially big fan of the Phillies' Rhys Hoskins, even though he doesn't get to see him as often. Most of all, though, Goldschmidt said he really just likes watching the guys he can't imitate. He names Giancarlo Stanton for his strength and bat speed and J.D. Baez for his seemingly magical abilities. Some of the stuff they do, I and most people don't have, Goldschmidt said. There's not as much you can take from their game, but there's still a huge appreciation for their skill set. Like his teammate Abreu, White Sox second baseman Yoan Moncada grew up in Cuba and didn't see a lot of major leaguers. He admired Frederic Cepeda, who won Olympic gold with the Cuban national team in 2004 and finished in second in 2008 because he was a switch hitter. But now, he spends most of his time learning from the guy beside him in the infield. When you see him in his at-bats, you can see his concentration, his focus, Moncada said of Abreu, through an interpreter. What he does there is something that just he knows. Moncada, for his part, has yet to fully bring his own offensive potential to fruition. He's leading the American League in strikeouts while hitting .217 at the top of the White Sox batting order, but his locker stands next to Abreu's, and he's learning from him every day. He's always talking to me. He's always giving me advice about what things to do in every situation, Moncada said. Even when we aren't working in the cages, he's always talking to me, trying to help me to get better. If Abreu's career is an indicator, Moncada is under wise tutelage, and he knows it. How he controls at-bats is something that is unique, something that is really eye-opening, Moncada said. When you are seeing him, you say, wow, this is special.